The morning began with a sound the bunnies didn't recognise. It wasn't loud exactly, but it was busy. A scrape, a shuffle, then a clatter, followed by a pause. After a moment, scrape, shuffle, clatter again. Roscoe stopped mid-step in the kitchen, lips pursed on his curly straw. "Did you hear that?" he asked. Berry tilted his head, ears ascending. "It sounds like something's a-doing of." Outside, the sky was pale blue with the wispiest hint of a cloud, the sort of sky that usually promised a calm day. But from next door came those unfamiliar noises, as if a long quiet place had woken up with a stretch and a wiggle, trying to decide what it wanted to do with itself. The bunnies gathered by the window. Next door lived Mr Bramblewick. His garden was always neat and prim and proper, trimmed hedges and a square patch of daisy-dusted lawn. He had assorted pots, arranged with careful gaps between them, as passageways for the scurrying dormice that made their home there. He waved politely whenever he saw the bunnies, but never lingered long. He liked things orderly, did Mr Bramblewick, and he liked them done just so. This morning, however, his garden looked different. A small wooden shed stood with its door wide open, revealing shelves crowded with jars of screws, coils of twine and neatly hung tools. A rake leaned against the fence as though it was having a rest. A wheelbarrow lay tipped on its side, one wheel slowly turning as if it hadn't quite finished what it was doing. Planks of weathered wood were stacked beneath the apple tree, their edges pale where they'd been freshly sanded. And in the middle of it all stood Mr Bramblewick, frowning thoughtfully at a very old garden bench. "I wonder what he's up to," said Floyd. Roscoe watched as there came another scrape and a gentle thunk. "It looks like a mending sort of morning." They finished their breakfast of buttery crumpets and tea, washed their paws, combed their whiskers, and folded away the tea towels. But the sounds carried on, quieter now, but still determined. After a while, Gus the Whiskers closed his book. "I think," he said carefully, "that someone might be trying to do too much on their own." The bunnies exchanged glances. "Well," said Berry, "we're quite good at standing still and holding things." "That's true," said Roscoe. "Let's see if a friendly paw might help." They stepped into the garden and strolled along the path to the fence. From the other side came the sound of a sigh that could have wilted parsley stalks. Roscoe cleared his throat politely. "Good morning, Mr Bramblewick." Mr Bramblewick straightened and turned. He had sawdust peppering his sleeves and a pencil tucked behind one ear. "Oh, morning, bunnies," he said. "Sorry if I've been disturbing you." "Not at all," said Roscoe. "We were admiring your bench." Mr Bramblewick glanced at it. One leg sat just a little shorter than the others. "It used to belong to my father," he said. "I thought I'd fix it up. Seems I've made it wobblier than before." Berry crouched to inspect it. "It's got good bones," he said seriously. That made Mr Bramblewick smile despite himself. "Would it help," Roscoe asked, "if we held things steady while you work?" Mr Bramblewick hesitated, then nodded. "I suppose that would be useful, yes." That settled it. Soon the garden filled with quieter, happier sounds. Floyd braced the bench leg while Gus the Whiskers held it level, his whiskers aflutter with concentration. Berry fetched screws from the shed, choosing just the right ones and lining them up neatly on a cloth. Roscoe passed the tools. an old wooden-handled screwdriver, a small tin of nails, a pot of golden wood glue that smelled faintly of pine. Mr. Bramblewick worked more slowly now, explaining as he went. "This joint needs tightening, and this brace will help keep it firm." The apple tree above them stirred, dropping a leaf that floated down and came to a rest on the bench seat. When the final screw was turned, and the bench stood solid at last, they all stepped back. "Well," said Mr. Bramblewick, running his hand along the smooth wood, "that's better than I'd hoped." They sat for a moment beneath the tree. The bench held firm. The garden felt settled again, as if it had been waiting for this small thing to be made right. "I don't often ask for help," Mr. Bramblewick said quietly, "but I'm glad you offered." Roscoe smiled. "Things usually turn out nicer that way." Before long, the bunnies headed home. The garden next door was calm again now. Tools returned to the shed, the wheelbarrow upright, the bench in its right place beneath the apple tree. Inside the cottage, mugs of warm milk were poured and custard cream biscuits were shared. "That felt good," said Berry. "Yes," said Floyd, "like fixing more than just a bench." Roscoe nodded. "A very good sort of helping." As the afternoon softened and the light grew warm and low, the cottage breathed quietly around them. Friendship ears were held in downy paws, and the day found its place. All was snug, all was well. Night-night.